Hey guys, it is the eighth episode of the EgoSurf Podcast, and we're back with some new stuff to talk about. I'm joined by my boy Robo and our good friend Ezra. You guys
Good evening.
say hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, Ezra's our boy. He's Drift in Fortnite. We love him. We
Oh
love
yeah,
Drift.
we're styling.
Yes. And yeah, we've got a good chunk of stuff to talk about. Fortnite unfortunately hasn't had a lot to talk about, so and we've all been playing a new game called Persona 3, which is gonna be the main stuff that we talk about today. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, and just to get us started though, Ezra and Robo, let's talk about what we've been doing the last week or so. What have you guys been up to?
Playing Persona 3.
Playing
Yeah, yeah. Ain't much going on in life right now.
Yeah, on a serious note, I've been my classes have switched school-wise. So I have new classes. It's been fun. I have some classes with some old friends, some new friends, and even a bear. It's been pretty good.
Is it a new semester?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a new semester, yeah. So that's been nice.
That's good.
What
Nice.
about you guys?
Ezra, go ahead.
Nothing like crazy going on. Just work, you know. Got a new job not too long ago, and that's been nice. Working full time. So I'm making that money, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been working on getting back into the YouTube grind again, and excited
Yes.
for that to happen. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
I need another retrospect video, really bad.
Yeah. For those who don't know, my name's Ezra. I host a YouTube channel called The Retrospect on YouTube,
Yeah,
and
I'll pull
I
it
basically cover all stuff like retro and a lot of modern games too, and I really dive deep into what makes those games great, and
Yeah.
as well as just the history behind some of maybe your favorite games that you just didn't know about.
Yeah.
Haven't uploaded in a while.
So yeah,
It's been a year.
That's a great ad read only if you uploaded. Yeah.
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 I'm planning. I have a video in the works right now. Don't worry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a video in the works. Actually, speaking of
Coming
it's gonna be
2025.
it's covering Persona. It's covering Persona.
Oh, there you go.
I am working on it. It's going to be covering the latter half of the game, so that's going to be like 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
obviously we just got Persona 3 Reload, and
Yes.
we're all playing through that right now.
Yeah. But before we get to the game, I do want to tell the audience, Ezra's videos are like super high quality. I highly recommend watching them. Like they're just like if you guys are into video essays, like watch his videos. They're absolutely fantastic.
I appreciate that.
I second that opinion. His videos are very good.
Yeah. I wish I had a voice like Ezra's. I mean, his microphone's pretty fantastic. You guys can hear it. So
I'm blushing.
he's blushing. Oh my gosh. You were trying to transition us into Persona 3.
Yeah, no. So Persona 3, right? That's just come out recently, and I'm gonna wait till I've gone through most of the game before I finish the Persona video I'll be working on. But yeah, no, the game's been great so far. Like, as someone who's a big fan of Persona, like coming from Persona 4 Golden, then to Persona 5 Royal, and I had never played Persona 3, the original.
Yeah.
So I'm playing Persona 3 for the very first time, and I know you and Robo are also playing Persona 3
This
for the
is
very
my
first
first
time.
Persona game,
And
actually.
this is your first Persona game. Yeah. Like, that's gotta be a big deal. Like, how are you enjoying it so far?
It's my first JRPG, period. It's also the first, like, honestly, first anime game I've probably ever played.
Guilty Gear.
You did
Yeah.
play Guilty Gear.
Yeah, that's true. I have played Guilty
That is
Gear.
anime.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I've only played like maybe a total of 4 hours of Guilty Gear in my life. This is the first anime game I've really given like a really good shot. I've probably put like 10 hours in.
Nice.
I'm enjoying it. Overall, it's a good experience. It's definitely like out of my comfort zone, but I'm enjoying the overall gameplay. I will say, the combat, obviously it's like Pokemon to a large extent.
Oh, very much so. It's definitely got that Pokemon feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I was first introduced to Persona, it was by our good buddy Cookie. He was on one of the older episodes of this podcast. He introduced it to me by saying, "Hey, Robo, you like JoJo, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Hey, do you like Pokemon?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Pokemon's pretty cool." And he's like, "Well, you should play Persona." that's literally how he explained it. It's Pokemon JoJo.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. I mean, yeah, it's good.
I will say, just for anyone who doesn't know what Persona is as a game, I mean, I'll let you guys kind of describe it more, but Persona is basically, it's a JRPG, which is, I mean, the gameplay itself is like slice of life story game, with a mix of like Pokemon-like combat with what are called personas, which remind me, they're like your alternate, or like, yeah, what is a persona? Like,
you guys know Stans from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Oh, yes.
Basically that, except you who play as the main character, you can have multiple. That's just because you have a wild card power, which means you can hold multiple of them. But you do start with one, and that is like your true actual form, basically. But yeah.
Okay.
They're supposed to be an embodiment of your personality, really.
Yeah. That's what's called.
Of your true self.
Yeah. That's what's called a persona.
Yeah.
And if you can have multiple personas, what does that say about you?
It's a good question.
Well, Snazzy, as I mean, hey man, I gotta do those social links somehow. I'm just saying, I might be gaslighting half of those characters. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
Bro, my favorite thing is when a character says something that I completely disagree with, but I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Wait, I should lie to them. I should lie to them. Yeah.
I gotta ask you guys, like, what do you think overall of the gameplay compared to the other two Persona? Like, what is the biggest difference between Persona 3 and Persona 4 and 5? Like, because obviously I have no idea.
So Persona 4, right? That game came out all the way back in like 2008, while the Persona 3 came out in 2006, I believe.
Okay.
I might be wrong about that, but it's at the gist is it was around the early 2000s, and the thing is the gameplay at the time was pretty revolutionary, as well as just the storytelling aspect of it was phenomenal. Like the writing is really good. That's like the biggest part of why people love Persona is because of the storytelling and the characters. Social links are like the biggest part of Persona and what make it so unique. Is having these side stories where you can just hang out with people and get to see their own individual character arcs, and they even affect your own gameplay afterwards.
Yeah, aren't there like a ton of endings? Like to these games?
Yeah, that's a thing that Persona does have, is they have alternate endings, which can affect what happens at the end of the game.
Yeah. Aren't those affected by like the social links you make and stuff like that, or am I crazy?
Sort of. It depends. Like, not every social link is going to impact the story.
Yeah, but some of them will. Like in Persona 5 Royal, you have to do like 3 specific social links and max them out to get the true ending of the game. If I'm correct.
Well, not exactly. You there's only one specific social link you have to do to get that ending, but the other 2 that you're thinking about are necessary to get certain cutscenes and bits in the game that aren't shown in without doing those social links, but they don't actually affect the ending of the game. It's just more like extra content.
I see.
But to answer your original question though about like the gameplay, what's the biggest difference? Persona 4, that Persona 4 Golden more specifically is what I played, and that game is, if we're talking turn-based combat, that easily has the most mundane combat out of the newer games like Persona 5 and even Reload.
It's less interesting
It
as
doesn't
compared to
have
the
as
other
many
two.
features. Like for example, there's a really sick feature that they added in Persona 5 that they put in Persona 3 Reload, which is baton passing.
It's basically what
Baton
shift is.
passing is what shift is in
Oh,
Persona 3 Reload.
wait, that
And
wasn't in the original?
No.
it was not. No. What it lets you do is if you hit like a weakness, it lets you pass on your turn to another player, and you can just keep on stacking damage and getting extra turns by hitting weaknesses. And so you can get in so much more
Oh.
damage before you let the enemy have a chance to attack or defend.
Well, that would have made the game a lot harder. My gosh.
Yeah, no, in Persona 4
funny.
that doesn't exist, and that's why it's a pretty difficult game, especially if you're not like used to playing turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
Like I would say as someone who played that as their very first game, I did find it fairly difficult. But it was still like fun. Like I think the gameplay for Persona 4 Golden is still really good. It's just like it is a little dated when you compare it to newer titles like Persona 4, like Persona 5 and Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is Persona 3 Reload is like a mix between Persona 5 and Persona 4, or actually more like Persona 3.
I see.
But because instead it takes the gameplay mechanics of Persona 5 and infuses them with the dungeon mechanics of Persona 3. Persona 3, I know you've been playing, and Tartarus, right? It's a very it's not like what's the word for it, right?
It's
procedurally generated.
It's non-linear.
It's procedurally generated.
It's non-linear, yeah.
And so every time you enter, it's completely new. Everything's changed. The layout's all different.
Do you guys like Tartarus, by the way? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I
like Tartarus.
It's pretty fun.
I do like Tartarus. I mean, I like the procedurally generated stuff. I like sometimes I don't need something super complex. Sometimes I just like to go fight enemies.
Yeah.
And just grind.
I really like how Tartarus has been like I like that there's I was kind of worried. I was like, "Oh my gosh, is the entirety of Tartarus the same thing?" And then we got to the second level and okay, now it's, this different purple thing. I'm assuming there's another level that'll look different. But I'm glad that it wasn't that. And I do like the idea of like this like infinitely tall building that we're going up, and you're fighting different enemies and you run into like stronger stuff over time. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. It's a good
for sure
concept.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty neat. I like it. It's different from Persona 4 and Persona 5 in the fact that Persona 4, it's a dungeon, so it's more straight. There aren't like there are floors, but there aren't as many as like Tartarus where you're like going up 20 floors. It's usually like between like 10 at the most.
Yeah.
And it's like that, and then in Persona 5, it's what we have called palaces, which are way more detailed and intricate than the dungeons of the previous games, because they're like they are completely linear and they are set. They don't change. They're the same thing every time you go in there, and there's so much detail that's gone into it.
Yeah.
And you have to like save like days to prepare to like go into it, because it's like it takes plenty of time, lots of time to go into a palace, and
also like organized planning and having enough shit. Yeah, it's a lot different than Tartarus. I feel like I could walk into Tartarus, grind out like literally like 30 plus floors if I wanted to, and then I could leave and I'd be a-okay because of just it just feels a lot like someone could probably make the statement like, yeah, this is probably a lot more endurance based, but in Persona 5, when you go in the palaces, you do have to have confrontation. You can avoid a lot of confrontation in Tartarus if you wanted to. Other than like the mini boss floors, you could just avoid every shadow. You can't really do that in P5 because it's so much easier to get caught lacking because the way that palaces are made, there's like security cameras, there's puzzle you have to complete. It's a lot different.
In Persona 5, actually, like you literally have to fight some shadows that it's required because they'll have like hold an item or something you need to progress through the palace. So it's like practically impossible to not have any confrontation.
Yeah. Tartarus is like, you could go in Tartarus gun ho, just guns a-blazing and kill everything, or you could go into Tartarus and be sneaky. Persona 5, you need to be sneaky and plan things accordingly, because if you get caught in a bad situation, that could ruin your entire run. I was playing the game and I was on Kanashiro's palace, and I got caught with the security level at literally like 90%, and I lost because I had so many enemies that were around me. I just kept on getting more enemies thrown on me, and I ended up losing because I just wasn't ready for that. Yeah, palaces play so differently.
They're very different.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Persona 3 Real is much more inspired by the older style of the Persona dungeons. Yeah. Which is cool. It's cool to come back to it.
What level are you guys, by the way, in Tartarus?
What floor?
Floor,
I think I'm floor 66.
Oh, God. You're so far ahead of me right now.
Yeah, I'm like 16 hours into the game.
God damn.
I think I'm in like 38 or something like that. It's wherever that teleporter is right there. It's past 33. It's the one after that.
I think it's 36, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun finding the weaknesses of the dudes, the shadows. Dude, the monorail fight, that was pretty cool.
Don't worry, Snazzy. You got more things you're gonna learn about the game, because there's actually like 3 more different attack mechanics that you haven't learned yet. So don't worry.
Fantastic.
I cannot wait for you to learn those and then have no idea what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing about Persona games, is they get more interesting the longer you play. Like, you'll unlock way more mechanics the further in the game you get. Which just makes the gameplay more interesting, I find. Like, you'll start with like pretty simple stuff towards the beginning of the game, and the farther in you get, doing more stuff, unlocking more things, progressing through the story, you'll start getting these new abilities or new mechanics to play around with, and it just makes the gameplay feel a lot more refreshing and fun.
Yeah. I unlocked these things called Thuriges, I think. They're pretty cool. I'm excited for you guys to get to those.
Yeah.
Oh. I really like the what's it called? I like how the shadows like have different little like based on their design, you can kind of guess what their weaknesses are. I think that's like a cool little detail.
It's kind of like Pokemon. You know, you look at the wrestler Steel guy, and you go, oh, electric versus steel. Okay, cool, and then you just hit him with it.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are a little hard to figure out, but you just kind of like mess around with like some elements or different abilities you got, and you're like, okay. You find their weakness, you find out what they're... Usually if I find out what they're resistant to, then I know what they're weak to, because it's like, what's the opposite of, what they're blocking?
Yeah, if they're resistant to fire, then you try ice,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's good. Gameplay's fun. I think the story so far is good. At least to where the story's heating up. At least where I'm at, I was like, damn. Plot twist. It's good. It's good right now. I'm living my best life. Let's put it like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so. It's interesting. From where I am in the game right now, I'm way behind you guys. So you guys maybe already know the answer to this, but like when I got to the top of the first part of Tartarus on 421, right? And you like see that note laying there, right? Like next to the blocked entrance. I was reading the note and I was like, that's interesting. It seems like someone else has been here before. And so I don't know if that is the case. My theory is that there's other people like us who can travel in Tartarus based off that note, because it sounded as if there was someone who wrote that and that wasn't us.
Yeah, the documents.
Yeah, the documents. So I'm curious as to when I get past that blocked area, what I'm gonna see, on the second part of Tartarus and what we're gonna see going on with the story. Because there's a lot of mystery going on right now. Like, where do the shadows come from? What is Tartarus? Why is it on top of the school specifically? Like, what is why is the dark hour even a thing?
Other than for plot convenience.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm overall, just finish up this segment, enjoying the game. Music's good. The game looks good. Gameplay's fun. Characters are good. Shout out to my boy Junpei. I'm doing like the heart hand gesture right now. My boy Junpei. My one true love.
Junpei's great.
I want to say, same here. I am enjoying the game. Final thoughts on the game. My favorite part of the game is definitely the story bits between Tartarus. I enjoy Tartarus, but it does get a bit boring after a while. Like it's just because it's the same enemies over and over again to some extent. And like I'd actually say the combat is my least favorite part of the game. Not that it's like terrible or anything, but yeah, it's definitely a different kind of game for me. I'm glad I'm trying it though. It's definitely something that I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm giving this a shot. I think I'm gonna finish the game. I don't think I'm gonna like make it halfway and then just give up on it. But yeah, it has been a good time so far. I would say.
I'm glad to hear that.
And Ezra, you're overall enjoying the game. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, of course. It's Persona. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. So
yeah. Where would
I eat up anything Persona related, bro.
For both of you guys, I mean, I know Robo hasn't played P4. Where would you guys rank P3, P4, and P5 against each other?
For me, I was playing a little bit of P4 actually not too long ago. I was just trying to re-experience it. As much as I love that game, it's really good. I think it has the best characters in any Persona game. Even though I've been playing Persona 3 Reload, so far I still do like the characters more. Yeah. The story is good. I think the weakest part about Persona 4 is its combat. And like the gameplay features of it. The social links are incredible in Persona 4, but I think Persona 5 does like literally everything about the gameplay better, but has a weaker story.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit of a weaker cast, but I still, they're both so good. I would honestly like, personally, my favorite is Persona 4 Golden, but if I was to like think of it objectively, I think Persona 5 really is the best game, in the series.
Obviously, you haven't played all of P3.
They've improved.
Yeah.
I haven't played all of P3, so I don't know if it's going to be better or worse than 4 or 5 for me. But with the way it is right now, it's on track to be a really solid game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Robo, are you kind of in the same boat? P5 better, P3 so far pretty good overall.
Story-wise, Persona 4 is my favorite game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that gameplay-wise, Persona 5 is better. Overall,
I can see that.
My statement is Persona 4 better story, Persona 5 better gameplay, and probably P3 Reload probably leans somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Both good things. It's not like Persona 5 has a bad story. It's just like, I think Persona 4's story is better. I mean, even if Persona 5 has my favorite character in it, Akechi, I still think overall story-wise, Persona 4 is the best it gets. So,
yeah.
So I know we've talked about Persona a lot. We have a funny little side thing that I'm curious what Robo's going to say about it. The World Cup in 2025 or 6 is happening in New Jersey.
What a great transition here. We go from Persona to World Cup. Yeah, totally related.
I mean,
these are very connected things. Robo, can you explain why this is even significant to you at all?
Well, it's also significant to Persona because if you guys ever play Persona 4 Golden, there's a social link with that one soccer guy. So
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
True, I guess.
It all intertwines. Just like Tartarus. Anyway, so if you guys don't know, I'm from the land of Jersey, New Jersey, the newest of the jerseys. And I just think it's a funny little thing. I don't know why it's guys, I don't even watch.
It's such a weird spot for it to happen, though. You're totally right.
I don't even know where the MetLife Stadium is. Like, hold up, let me look at where the MetLife Stadium is.
I will say, I actually want to watch the World Cup next time it happens because it's so hype. Apparently.
Okay. Apparently the MetLife Stadium.
Bro, watch Blue Lock once and.
Oh yeah, you watch Blue Lock. Yeah. Apparently the MetLife Stadium is the home stadium of the New York Giants and New York Jets, but it's in fucking New Jersey. Why? What? Yeah. I don't.
Goofy.
Guys, I don't understand.
That's silly.
Yeah. I just think it's interesting. Honestly, bro. I don't know how much World Cup tickets are. Probably like $1,000+.
They're probably ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. I would love to.
Are you guys soccer fans at all?
Go.
I'm just curious.
I actually enjoy soccer as a sport. I think it's kind of chill, and I enjoy it whenever I play it on occasion. My favorite sport's golf, so take that as you will. But yeah,
golf,
I mean, it's still cool that it's happening in my state. My little boy down there in
it's a big event.
My little guy, he's just chilling, and it's gonna be here.
Ezra, are you any bit of a soccer fan, or are you totally like have no clue what's going on in soccer?
Well,
no, I mean,
I wouldn't
consider
be that
myself a
soccer fan. But I do enjoy watching soccer every once in a while. I think it's an entertaining sport to watch.
The way that you phrase that. Do you know what's going on in soccer? You kick a ball.
Kick a ball.
Yeah. I don't know how to play soccer.
It is funny. I don't like really understand the positions except for like striker and goalie. But
we watched Blue Lock once. Okay, we get it, man.
Basically,
I'm a striker. Head ass.
I'm a strike. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay. If we were huge soccer fans, obviously our favorite sport would be soccer. But what's our favorite video game, guys? That's something we wanted to talk about a little bit.
Smooth transition.
You like that one, right, guys? You like that one? I think that was a pretty good one, guys. Like,
crazy.
Totally didn't shoehorn that one in.
The
soccer. I'm sorry. The soccer thing was. How do we we go from Persona to soccer back to video games, guys?
I could have done a better transition because my transitions are the best. You just didn't give me enough time to cook. It's all right. Favorite video game? Intrusion 2. I made a whole video on it on my YouTube channel. It's a great video. It's a great great game. Great game here. Do you guys like 2D side scrollers? I
love Metal Slug. If you've ever heard of that game?
I think it's funny because if you rewind this video to the very beginning,
you played Metal Slug, Snazzy?
Yeah, I used to play it on the. I used to play it on the Wii. On like a.
That's sick.
Rewind the video to the very first second.
Okay. Wait.
The first thing I show is Metal Slug gameplay.
That's funny.
In this video, literally, yeah. I love Intrusion 2. It's my favorite video. It's Intrusion 2 is great. It's made by this one Russian indie game developer, and it's great. The music's done by one guy. It's literally one guy made the game, one guy did the music. They collaborated to make it. It's a fantastic game. It's like $3 on Steam on the regular. It goes on sale. It's usually like $10. I would recommend anyone to play it. It is such an easy game to get into, and it's really fun. The game has like no plot line, but in this video I kind of created one because it doesn't really exist. So I had to do it for my boy Vap. Speaking of Vap, I even got an interview with him. And that was really cool.
That was pretty cool.
Like imagine like your favorite video game creator. Like let's say your favorite game is like Metal Gear, and then Hideo Kojima is like, "Hey man, you want to do an interview?" That's literally what happened. In this video, I jokingly asked for an interview. I was like, "Vap, you better do an interview with me, or the wrath of God will be the least of your worries." And then he hit me up on Twitter. Is like, "Yo man, you want to do that interview?" And I was like, "Sure."
So
and then we did.
Maybe I just gotta start threatening all the game developers.
Yeah, just find the guy who created Zelda. I don't know his name. Just find him and just threaten him.
Robo, remind me, how did you find Intrusion 2? Like,
how did I find Intrusion 2?
Yeah.
So as a child, I loved Flash games, and what happened is before I had Steam, you could find Intrusion 2, like the demo of Intrusion 2 on like Flash game websites for free, like the first 5 levels out of 10.
Oh, that's funny.
So I just played the first 10 levels, first 5 levels of Intrusion 2 over and over again for months before I actually bought the real game on Steam. I actually went back and looked at a bunch of old emails that my dad sent on my current email, just because I just use my dad's old email address. And I found emails between him and the creator of Intrusion 2 VAP Games where it's like, hey man, my son really likes your game. Where can I buy it at? And he's like, oh, you should buy it on Steam.
That's hilarious.
Intrusion 2 introduced me to PC gaming, basically. And that's how I have a Steam account. Yeah. I cannot thank Intrusion 2 enough for what it's done for me as a person. Like, the game is not deep at all. It is literally, you play as Red Scarf Guy and you kill people. All you do. Impacted me so much as a kid. And to this day, it's still, like, my favorite genre of game. It's a great title. And I totally recommend everyone to try it out at least once.
Ezra,
it's got good gameplay. I mean, it makes sense. You think of games like, you know, the original Super Mario Bros. Like, people love that game because of how simple and easy to play that was. It's just addictive to play.
Yeah. And just I mentioned this video, but the thing about Intrusion that I like the most is the physics of the game are super fucking weird.
They're pretty fun.
Yeah. Like, you can see in the gameplay, like, the way that your character bounces around, the way that enemies ragdoll and move is super funny. And I think the presentation of the enemies is good. There's a certain level that comes up later on where you're snowboarding down a glacier, like down like an ice mountain. And there in the background, you can see the military company you're up against shooting missiles into the ground. And then from the missiles, there's like giant snakes that come out of the ground. It's like right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see those missiles in the background, and then a giant snake comes from the ground, and it's a super good presentation. It's
great.
It's perfect. I cannot ask for a better game. I'm really hoping that Intrusion 3 turns out well. VAP has been posting.
That will be just pretty cool to see.
Yeah, he's been posting like work in progress footage of the game. It looks great. Great game. Yeah. Anyway, I know someone's favorite game here is Breath of the Wild. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's my favorite game. Yeah, no, it's genuinely, it's weird. It didn't used to be my favorite game, and it was my favorite game. I was a late bloomer, right? I didn't get a Nintendo Switch till like
in what way?
2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ezra's balls didn't drop until like 8th grade, bro. What the fuck?
No.
But yeah, I didn't get a Switch till 2020, bro. And so I was a little late to the whole, you know, Nintendo Switch like exclusives, such as like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and so. And my very first game on the Switch was Breath of the Wild. Because I had heard so much about it. I was like, is this really that good? I had never even played a Zelda game before that. I was going in completely blind. I was like, I don't even know what to expect. So I played it, and slowly but surely, I found myself just like becoming so invested in the world that they had created in this game. It felt so alive and real, and it's just like I just couldn't stop playing. I was playing I was like having all-nighters finish playing this game because of how good it was. Like, the gameplay was just that good where it's just like, I don't want to stop playing. I want to know what else I can do in this world.
Yeah.
And they let you have so much creativity with the abilities they give you, as well as there's so much to explore in this game. Puzzle solving is so much fun. That's the thing I love about video games is puzzle solving, and that's Zelda to a T.
Don't you like unlock? I'm sorry, I'm not a huge Breath of the Wild person. There's like little abilities you can unlock, right? And then like they'll like if you combine them together in different ways. Like I've seen people make like flying machines with like the magnet thing, before. Like it's kind of fun to see people using stuff like that.
You're thinking of Tears of the Kingdom, which is the sequel to Breath of the Wild,
with the minecart and the magnet.
Yeah,
I swear that was OG BOTW.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
It was an infinite flying machine. Basically, you just jump in a minecart.
It might have been Breath of the Wild. I'm not super aware of it. I know like speedrunners have done some crazy things with the mechanics of Breath of the Wild. Like there's a speedrun technique they've used where you can like freeze like a boulder and like hit it a bunch of times, and you can like fly across the map if you like stand on top of it after you unfreeze it. Like I've seen some crazy things like that.
I just want to let you guys know I'm eating a ring pop right now.
You're
fantastic.
Isn't this like the third time?
I still don't like it.
Bro, why are you eating the ring pop?
Bro, why are we eating ring pops?
I don't like them. They taste bad.
So Ezra, you got into the game back in 2020, and so have you played a ton of the Zelda games then?
Yeah. Anyways, Breath of the Wild.
Can we add that one sound effect that plays in Breath of the Wild, like the piano? The
the Guardian theme song.
We have to add that as a sound effect to our Discord.
That'd be freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Ezra, about Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, after Breath of the Wild, I was hooked and I wanted more. I was like, I need more because I had finished playing Breath of the Wild and I had done literally everything you could possibly do in that game. Besides the Korok seeds, which, if anyone knows, that's a nightmare to complete. There's like 1,000 of them hidden all around the map.
That sounds horrible. That sounds like doing the Chimera crystals around the Fortnite battle royale. We brought it back to Fortnite, guys.
I have a better analogy. The Riddler trophies from Arkham.
Oh my gosh, it's funny.
Yeah, but yeah, no. After that, I started playing Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo 64, and I played that on my Switch because they had the emulators for Nintendo 64 at the time. And super fun game. Like I absolutely loved it. It was, even though it's old, I think the gameplay has aged like super well. I think it's still just as fun now as it probably was back then. Obviously the graphics are a little dated, but like
didn't it come out like
2018,
2017? What about?
Well, we're talking about Ocarina of Time. That came out in 1998.
Sorry, my bad. I thought we were still on Breath of the Wild. I literally zoned out for 5 seconds and we.
It's the ring pop. I understand. It's the ring.
Yeah,
pop.
It's the pacifier, guys.
I stood up and I threw out the ring pop, and then I came back and sat back down in my chair. And we're talking about Ocarina of Time. Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Bro ate that so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I threw it out. I took a bite into it and it cracked, and I was like,
Robo's completely derailed the Zelda talk with the ring pop, guys.
Sorry, guys.
We're having a ring pop.
Ring pops. They fucking suck. I hate them.
What are you on about? The ring pops are great, bro.
What?
As a kid, I loved ring pops. You go to like the Dollar Tree and you like grab like a bag of like ring pops. You put them all on your fingers. You got like one for each finger.
What? That's something only you did.
Not everyone did that. That's what the ring pops for a reason. Put them on your fingers. They're rings.
Yeah.
Bro, you had that baby bottle pop, bruh. I'm telling you, man, dog, bro.
Are you telling me you don't put the ring pop on like as a ring? Are you not eating it right?
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not eating it like that.
All right, guys.
What is wrong with you? That's like part of the ring pop experience.
My favorite candy is Hershey's bars, cookies and cream.
You're so boring. You're so boring.
Guys, it's Hershey bars, but cookies. It's white chocolate. Fine.
That is the most boring answer you could have ever given.
I'll give my second place. It's Pop Rocks grape flavor.
Okay, that's an interesting one. I don't hear many people.
That one, honestly, like that one hurts to eat.
What?
Hurts? You just
they like pop on my tongue, and then I'm like, ow.
Do you get startled by loud noises or something?
No, not the loud noise. Not the noises. That's not the problem. Like, they literally, I don't know, it's like a pinching sensation. Like, when it touches your tongue.
Buddy, I don't know what the fuck is up with your taste buds, but it sucks to be you, I guess.
Ezra, do you have anything else to say about Breath of the Wild before we?
I wanted to transition this time.
You can.
Not necessarily. Just, it's my favorite game series. After Breath of the Wild, I went on a rabbit trail and played like every single Zelda game out there, besides like maybe a few. It's a game I'm very passionate about. I made a YouTube video on it, of course, and I plan to do more videos on that series at some point. But yeah, no, for sure. Anything else?
It's my turn now. I'm going to keep this brief because I could literally go on forever and ever about this game.
I think I waffled for like 4 minutes, and Ezra maybe did it for 5. But if we take away the 2 minutes dedicated to the ring pop, yours should probably average out to 2. So make it stack.
World of Warcraft is my favorite video game of all time. Overall, because I mean, I think the biggest reason is because I started playing it when I was like 6 years old. Honestly, the trailers just look sick. As a kid, I was like, "Whoa, this game's crazy." And then my dad was playing it, obviously, and then he was like, "Ian, you should play this game." So then I hopped on, and it's just a huge, vast world with such. I love the combat in the game, like especially in like modern WoW. Older World of Warcraft, it depends. It's a taste thing for sure, but but I like the game overall a lot. It's got a very deep story, and it's made a huge impact on my gaming tastes. Like I play every Blizzard game pretty much because of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Overwatch, unfortunately,
Man,
is
that
saying
must suck.
Overwatch
Are
saying
you cursed by Blizzard? You must play every Blizzard game. That's a death sentence.
Basically.
How have you not died yet?
I don't.
Bro, I had to play
I've been
too.
burned. Well, what I was gonna say is, unfortunately, World of Warcraft is like nowadays it's like not nearly as amazing as it used to be. It used to be one of the biggest franchises ever, and over time, it's unfortunately had very poor leadership, and the game has fallen off horribly.
Only if it got that Fortnite collab, then we would see the Fortnite effect in action.
That would be cool.
Yeah, where's that
But
Epic Games? Where's it at?
I'm gonna keep it as brief as that. Do we want to talk about the Megamind movie, or do you want to wrap it?
Yeah. Let's talk about the Megamind movie real quick.
Oh gosh, not the Megamind movie, bro.
Here,
do you guys like? I think it came out in 2011. Do you guys like the 2011 hit animated film Megamind by DreamWorks?
I love that movie. It's
so good.
Amazing.
I think it's a very good film. I agree with you guys. Too bad. What seems to be like 12 years later, they're making a sequel, and it's ass. I mean, it hasn't came out yet, but everything we've seen of it,
this trailer is not doing it justice.
This trailer is not doing it justice. This doesn't feel like Megamind. It feels like I'm watching like a Paw Patrol episode. That's the best way I can explain it. It just like it took everything that was like witty and interesting and like how charismatic Megamind was in the first film and basically shrunk him down into like a fucking character that has gone back. Like he has digressed rather than progressed as a character.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Will Ferrell's not voicing him anymore, which I mean, like you could say it's not a terrible thing, but he brought a lot of character to the character. I mean, it's a voice actor; it's really important. Yeah, it sucks. That's my take.
Yeah, no, the vibe almost gives me like sitcom vibes. It's like it doesn't feel at all like it's like the movie like setting and feel was like. It just feels like a completely different thing with with like similar characters, but like that's it. It's just same characters, but this is an entirely different thing. Like it doesn't at all give me what I would assume Megamind is gonna be about. Like it's like yes, Megamind was a comedy, but it was also a drama. Like it dealt a lot with like him going through the realization he doesn't need to be a bad guy, right? And that what he's been told his whole life doesn't, factor into who he really is. And in this, it doesn't seem like there's any really importance to that at all. It's just, oh yeah, Megamind's funny. He's gonna go do goofy things. Let's go see how they go. That just doesn't interest me. I think the majority of people would agree that it's not that interesting.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, I would say, especially coming from DreamWorks, who was kind of on like a streak here of like good productions, and then they shit out this garbage piece of shit, and I'm just
You just reminded me of that Fire Force guy.
I said the word shit twice in like a sentence with a fucking comma in between, and now he's comparing me to the Fire Force guy.
Yeah.
Dude, we were watching this anime called Fire Force, and there's a character who's like, your ass is my ass, so I'm gonna eat your ass with ass. And I'm like, what am I watching? That show is so silly. That's a good anime. I recommend you watch that if you just want like a silly, fun time anime. Yes, we are like 8 episodes in, so it could get like really serious at any moment, and then this could age very poorly. I hope not. I hope not. Yeah.
I personally have a huge amount of issues with the animation, like we've all said, and I think that the fact that we're losing, we obviously don't have Will Ferrell taking care of Megamind as a character, and the writers are probably complete morons compared to the original writers who wrote something that was actually interesting and intriguing. This is going to bomb, and Peacock should just not release it. It's gonna be hate watched. That's all it's gonna be good for, basically.
Bro, what is with Peacock and all the like garbage exclusives they've been trying to do? Like first it was the Halo TV show, like that was a disaster. Like, oh my god, it could not have been worse of an adaptation. Like people were excited to watch it, and then Peacock's like, actually, we're just gonna make it completely different. We're not gonna adapt any of the source material. We're just gonna make it our own thing, and fuck you guys.
It doesn't make it better how like the director of that show came out and was like, yeah, I didn't play the games. Video games? I don't respect video games. You're a bunch of fucking nerds. Yeah, that was evil.
Yeah.
That was evil.
Well,
do not recommend.
Robo, you want to take us away?
Yeah, here, I'll do a little outro. So guys, this has been the EgoSurf Podcast. I've been Robo. He's been Ezra / the Retrospect.
Snazzy blocks.
And Snazzy's been snazzing his blocks. And this has been the EgoSurf Podcast. I'll see you guys in the next episode. My stomach hurts.
All right.
Ugh.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, Ezra.
Yeah, that was great. It was great. Thanks for having me on.